On Wednesday the 24th of August, Labour activists from Colchester Labour Party joined the Felixstowe port workers on their strike picket line. It was a big day because Sharon Graham was in attendance. In what follows, I've got an interview with Sharon Graham, the General Secretary of Unite, and I've also got an interview with our own Councillor Molly Bloomfield. The last clip captured the unique fighting spirit of the picket line. It was fantastic to see. You can see from the pictures, it was a wonderful morning, real working class spirit. It was a picket that thinks, as Sharon Graham said, it's a picket that thinks it's going to win. Anyway, next up, Sharon Graham
What's
herself.
the strike at Felixstowe about?
Well, I think, to put it in context, this is a company that has lodged accounts just in a matter of weeks with £79 million worth of profit. £79 million worth of profit. They've given £42 million to shareholders and they're asking these workers to take a pay cut. It's abhorrent. And so what the strike is about is to say to this company, we will not accept a pay cut. When you make profits of that magnitude, you should at least give these workers inflation.
And I think I witnessed today on the picket line what I'd call a new form of trade unionism. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, I think what's happening across the country is that what people are feeling is that they don't have to accept what's going on here. And certainly in my own union, we've had over 300 disputes just within the year that I have been in as General Secretary. £150 million has gone into the pockets of those workers. And I think there's a new confidence coming to the fore, where workers are seeing that actually unions are a vehicle for change, and they do not have to accept what is happening to them as far as companies who can afford to pay literally saying, we're not going to give you a pay rise. I think there's a real change in the air about what workers are willing to accept.
And finally, Sharon, the really important bit, what can the Labour and Trade Union movement do to support your strike?
Well, what I really hope that the Labour and Trade Union movement do is to support, because basically the important thing for workers to feel is confidence that they're not out there on their own. I mean, you've got an employer here who's sending out ridiculous messages about these workers. And I always think what's quite a funny thing, if the bosses were on strike, nobody would be noticing. It's only when workers go on strike that people notice, because they do the work. So there's a piece of a pie here, and workers should get a decent piece. And I'd love the trade union movement and the Labour movement to come together, not be embarrassed about saying that. Let's say that, because these people need our support.
Well, Sharon, I can say that Colchester Labour Party is fully behind you.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best in your strike. Solidarity.
Thank you, solidarity.
Next, as promised, let's go local. It's Molly.
Councillor Molly Bloomfield, one of our local councillors, who seems to be doing a bit of a tour of picket lines this year. Molly, what brought you to Felixstowe today?
I'm here in Felixstowe today because inflation has been rising rapidly throughout this year. Our energy prices have risen by 54%, and the living standards of every single worker in this country are declining day on day. Meanwhile, we live under a Conservative government that is consistently fueling this inequality, who they really back. We simply cannot live like this anymore. And I'm very proud to be here standing with the Felixstowe workers today as a Unite member in the hospitality industry, because I understand that when any group of workers win, we all as workers win. Britain needs a pay rise, and it's time that we stand together and say enough is enough.
And what does it mean to be here as a Labour councillor?
I'm a Labour councillor. I'm in the Labour Party, a party that was founded by the trade unions, a party that is currently backed by the trade unions and is made to fight inequality in this country. Inequality that has totally spiralled in the last 12 years under Conservative rule. This is why we as a party need to stand with the unions, Labour for Labour, because that is simply our job.
We can confirm today that picketing can be really fun. Get yourself down a picket line, get behind the working class. Let's give these Tories a fight. Last word from Molly.
As a young person who's just got active within the Labour Party, I really feel like I was part of history today.